haven't seen any minutes from,
Okay, we'll continue. Officers report, financial review, go ahead, Blair.
okay, financial. Alrighty, so, the latest one. I do not have in March. Latest one I have is February 29th. And I believe that we, went over that at the last meeting.
You
So
haven't seen March?
I haven't seen March. I'm sorry? Okay.
So we'll have to follow all of you to ask you.
Yep.
All right, so we'll wait on mitigation project update from Elizabeth. All right, update on mitigation inspection. So I've been working with the inspector that was chosen for the 9 buildings. Those are buildings that are completed roofs. Those are buildings 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and phase 4. Buildings 16, 17, and 18 in phase 3. So if you live in any of those buildings, this is for you. This is for our mitigation inspection for the insurance company for the new re-roofing. That's going to help when we come up to renewal in June for our insurance that becomes available June 1st. So just a couple of things on what I asked the broker to do. We received a wind mitigation inspection like info sheet for the unit owners, and I wanted it a little bit more detailed because I just some standard questions that weren't added that I requested to add, and I'm going to pass this out to the board. Let's review this to see if it's good, because these are going to go to the unit owners in those 9 buildings, and I'll explain the process is going to take a little bit of a coordination, and I'll explain to you why. So, the purpose of the mitigation inspection, now that we're re-roofed in 9 buildings, is to obviously report that to the insurance so that we can help lower our insurance premiums, at least for those 9 buildings. So the document that's going to be proposed to be sent to unit owners is the following cooperation from the association is requested. Inform the unit owners about the need for inspection by email, by posting on the clubhouse bulletin board, and on the association website. Identify unit owners in each building who may be receptive to allowing the inspector access to the unit to view and take pictures of the trusses if accessible. Post the date and time of the inspections for unit owners via email on the bulletin board on the association website. Invite the property manager to be available on the dates of the appointments to create a smooth process. And finalize the mitigation reports with pictures and make them available to the board, to the manager, and to the association website for individual unit owners. When mitigation process will be as follows. Internal building inspection and external building inspection should last no more than an hour. Now, here's where it's going to get tricky, and here's where the coordination, we need coordination with one unit owner from each of these 9 buildings. The inside of one unit per building will need to be made available to the inspector to review the roof trellises. Inside trellises inspections should take no more than 30 minutes. So how they explained it to me is simple. Mr. McFadden himself will be the one doing the inspection. He will identify himself with a business card. We'll already have a preset appointment. He will know exactly the unit owner that has agreed access. You know, we have those little attic doors. He's going to set up a ladder, go in, and he does what mitigation inspectors do. They measure the trellises, they measure the number of nails, and so forth. So unit owners in each building should coordinate with their neighbors to ensure that at least one unit will be available for indoor trellis inspection. The inspector only needs inside access to one Then, of course, then he gets on the roof and does the exterior building, but as far as the inside roof, it's only one. The inspector will identify himself to the unit owner by providing a McFadden Inspections business card, and he's gonna be wearing a McFadden Inspection shirt. The inspector will be bringing his own equipment, such as a ladder, and Saturday inspections will be available. So, if we have anybody here building, let's try this. Anybody in phase 4, in building 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, is anybody willing? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I have the same thing, but I have pictures of the building. If anybody here is in phase 4, for example, I'm in phase 4, building 19. If it's a Saturday appointment, I can do it. So that's all that's needed for one building. For the rest of the 5 buildings, somebody has to be that point person for the inspector, okay? So, if you're in one of those buildings in phase 4, and you're available during the week, because I have a feeling it's gonna be too, the idea is to have it all in one shot, right? The inspector comes, goes in, spends half an hour inside a unit, walks the roofs, takes his pictures, boom, next building. That would be the ideal situation. But since we're dealing with coordination of unit owners' time, that's gonna be a challenge. So Jay, I'm gonna need you to reach out to somebody in the 9 buildings who you think is home during the day that would not mind having their unit be the designated unit for the inside inspection for the roof. They're not going to be inspecting anything else. They're just going to open your little ceiling attic door, go up there, and he's got a bunch of measuring tools that he needs to take pictures and so forth. He comes down, he does the exterior of the roof, done, building done. Should be an hour and a half total.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I had one done last year. I don't have an attic, for example, so the person who is gonna be the person has to have an attic.
Okay.
Because I'm in the middle of 2,
Good point.
so I didn't, he
Yeah.
couldn't have access to that, so.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, I guess I'll ask Farouk who's coming. Do you have a unit that has that second floor look, that has a window?
Yes.
Okay, so I think it's only the buildings that have the peak are the ones with the attic.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, that's.
makes sense because I live in a peak and I have an attic.
Right.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not a walk-in attic, but it's a crawl
Yeah,
space.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
all right. Well, there's one unit like that in every building, so we need to identify. So Jay, you're gonna be given the task this week to reach out those unit owners that live in a unit that has that peak in the front, not that has that second floor window illusion. And you're going to report to the board who Mr. McFadden will be reaching out to.
So obviously, we're just doing phases 3 and 4 for now.
We're doing the 9 buildings that the roofs are complete, correct?
Okay.
So, again, those are buildings, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, in phase 4, and buildings 16, 17, and 18 in phase 3. All right, so is there anything from the board that you want to see as information to the unit owner before I give the okay for the broker to send this? Well, actually, I don't think it's the broker who's gonna send it, I think you need to mail it. Okay, is there anything? No, we're good? Okay, here. That's the letter that's gonna go to unit owners. All right, can we go back to minutes? Oh, you have the minutes?
The minutes from last week, I haven't finished them yet, so I haven't really.
So we'll postpone it.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to put table and.
I don't think we don't have it, there's no need to have a motion yet.
we don't have the minutes ready, so they're not ready.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it's
that's
fine,
fine.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Hang on. Jay, can we get, do you have another copy of the agenda?
Yeah, sure.
For Elizabeth up to date.
All right. Eric is not here to do a BP update. I do have one other update, but I'll table it because I didn't put it on the agenda. It'll be for the next meeting. It has to do with establishing a corporate resolution to establish collection policy and a corporate resolution to do with architectural modifications. I already have the architectural modification. I'm just gonna bring the printout. I'm gonna email it to each and every one of you. You've got 2 to review, and then we'll discuss in the next board meeting. Okay? Now, Elizabeth, we're gonna go back to you. I have you as a communication project update.
So, we actually, we had a meeting, Maritza and Marjorie and I, we started working on the newsletter. We were looking for, as I mentioned before, the WhatsApp group, some of you guys wanted to get involved in. One thing I wanted to make sure was that it be clear that if you're volunteering your information, that other members of the community can see that. We were trying to work out a way where we can have everybody's phone number private and just kind of have like a bulletin board style. We were unable to have that happen, so what we're going to be doing is letting you guys know. It's just like your typical WhatsApp group that you put your phone number out there, and if there are certain people that want to contact you, they might have access because it's a community in that sense. We set up and finished our first newsletter to be sent out, and in there you'll find information about what we're going to be working on, like things to come, such as the roof progress for phase, community news, basically phase updates and what we're looking at or what's going on. And then we wanted to open up a section for Ask Omega, basically have the community ask questions, and we can put out every newsletter, answer one of the questions that you guys ask, so that we could all be transparent, be on the same page. What we noticed is that a lot of times we're asking the same questions because we either missed the meeting, we missed the question, we missed the part of the segment of where we spoke about it. So we want communication to be clear and concise and easily and readily available, honest, objective, and transparent. And the other thing we're working on is not for the newsletter via email, but the newsletter via WhatsApp. We're going to be working on having it translated in English and Spanish because I know that there is a language barrier some here and there. So we want everybody to be able to understand what is actually happening and not just hear one-sidedness or, one version of reality, but just understand what's happening throughout the community. So that's where we are with our communications and newsletter.
Also, there's gonna be financial updates on the newsletter as well. Financial updates, legal updates.
Yeah,
Full
financial updates.
disclosure.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Everything's going to be, like I said, completely objective. It's not going to be one person's reality. It's going to be facts. And it's not based on anything other than what's happening here so that we can all be on the same page.
Excellent, good. Thank you for that. So who's your team? You have,
Maritza.
Maritza.
I'm sorry, do you have a question?
I do.
So in regards to the newsletter, I know you said email, or do you have to be part of the WhatsApp group?
So for the email, what I'm looking to do is I'm going to have the email just send a newsletter, right? The WhatsApp group is basically going to be instantaneous, different information as well. It's going to be newsletter, but other things that are happening, right? So let's say there's an instance, and I'm sorry,
She interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I apologize.
So if it's gonna be something that the phases need to know, like, hey, phase 2, this is happening, it's going to be quick, direct, immediate access to information.
No,
So,
Okay,
Okay. Sean, you can deal with that after the meeting is
No.
over, but during the meeting, you are disrupting the meeting, so
I am
please
not
put it
disrupting
down.
anybody but you, the one that's
Actually,
doing his
you're
acts.
disrupting,
You disrupting. Put
Yeah,
it
yeah.
down and leave it
I'm
alone.
sorry, but this is
Put
protest.
it down.
It's a whole other level of your
Put it
misunderstanding.
down. Put
You
it
better
down.
sort yourself out before you get
Put
in
it
real
down.
trouble.
I'm gonna interject here.
Because this is
I'm going
nonsense.
to provide you your first warning. We implemented the corporate resolution and the board decorum.
You did.
No.
You did.
It was
You said
voted
it
on.
did. Not
I'm
me.
gonna
You
give you,
said it did.
for the record,
For your
giving
record,
you
not mine.
your first
Yours.
notice. 2 more notices, I will pause the meeting.
And when the feds come in, what's gonna happen then?
Perfect.
What's gonna happen then?
Beautiful.
Yeah, what's
Looking
gonna happen?
forward to it.
I am too.
That's your
100%.
first official warning. It's on
No, why are you
video.
leaving
This
it?
is your first
Why
official
are you leaving it?
warning. 2 more warnings,
I'm not
I
being respectful of
will
her.
pause
After
the
she
meeting.
ruined my house.
You
I
are
don't
not
know.
going to be
No.
disruptive.
Screw that.
You're
Sorry.
not just disrespecting her, you're just disrespecting. all
And
the
you
rest
were a
of
part of
us.
that too.
Invite me, okay? That's recorded.
Mr.
That's
Martin,
recorded.
And the
this is
thing
your
next to you,
second
yeah.
warning, Mr. Martin.
Yeah.
One more warning.
Call him now.
Ladies and
I would
gentlemen,
prefer
I
it.
apologize for his behavior. For those of you that were not here, we adopted a
All I did
corporate
was hold up a sign.
resolution for
She's
board
interfering with my
decorum.
First Amendment
Stop it.
rights. This is on the record.
Okay, you have your second warning, you have one more warning. You're gonna force this board to stop the meeting, and I will call the police so we can
Good,
conduct,
call them.
association.
You're the ones that are
business.
jumping at me, I'm not jumping at you.
You're on your second warning, sir. One more, and I'm gonna have to,
You did
I
what you
apologize for wasting your time,
Stop it.
everybody.
You
Okay.
stop it.
Who was speaking? Who was speaking? I'm sorry, ma'am.
It's okay.
So sorry.
It's okay. So, just for clarity with the WhatsApp group, there will be quicker, more instantaneous updates rather than the newsletter via email or being posted on the website.
Correct. So the WhatsApp group is instantaneous. It's going to be quick whatevers that are happening, easy access links. It's going to be the version for Spanish as well for anybody who needs that. And it's going to be just a faster way to just get on there. It's going to be between newsletters. So if we do newsletters every month or bi-weekly, WhatsApp notifications are going to be whatever's happening in vivo, real time. You're very welcome. Sorry about that.
So we appreciate that, and that's long overdue. We understand our community, everybody prefers a different style of communication. We have an up-and-coming generation that's moving in, they're very tech savvy, they like their WhatsApp and so forth. I have a question for you. How do we know when the WhatsApp official Omega Villas is available?
Great question. So we're going to be sending out the first newsletter via email. And then what I would love is if you can respond via email that you want to be part of the WhatsApp group and put in your phone number so that I can add you to the group. The group is already created. I wanted everybody to be informed because I didn't discuss it last time about, I thought I could find a way to block everyone's number and have it where phone numbers are not visible. We weren't able to do that. We were unsuccessful in finding a way to do that. So I wanted it to be full transparency, that you're giving your consent. We're going to be a little community. It's not going to be back and forth. It's just going to be bulletin board. It's an informative group for you to know what's happening. It's not for back and forth dialogue. Yeah.
And before anything is released, who reviews everything with a thumbs up?
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending it to the board. The newsletters, of course, are going to be going to the board. Everyone's going to have a say, and then we send it out because I believe we're going to need Eric's help with the email.
Yeah, Eric's is our IT guy, and he's going to be instrumental. And then the other thing I recommended to Eric, now that we're a 9-member board and we have a communications team on the board, is I'd like to set up a workshop where whoever wants to join, the community and so forth, will do an open workshop, and we come to the clubhouse, get a screen, project our current website, and navigate through our website and get feedback on, hey, this would be good to see, this is really not useful, you don't have enough information on this, and so forth, so that the community can provide feedback so he can continue to enhance it. Because when we got the website, it's still a work in progress, but there's so many features that website can have that we need to use. And I just want to make sure that we're not communicating one way in WhatsApp or the newsletter, and then our website says something else. That's confusing.
No, so the information is going to be, so whatever's on the website, that's gonna be linked to the website. So we have easy access links, because a lot of people don't even really know the website. And one thing Eric committed to was doing a training before the next meeting for 30 minutes. 30 minutes before the next meeting, so that you can show everybody how to get on there and how to use the website. But what I find a lot easier is if I can just add little links for you guys to go, here were last meeting's minutes, click here, and you just sign in and you'll be directed there. The other thing we have is the website on the bottom and the QR code, so you can scan it and just get there immediately.
Good. Thank you so much. Anything else regarding communications or anything regarding the secretary? When do you think we can expect to see the last board meeting minutes?
Today's and last meeting minutes I'll have by the end of the week.
All right, perfect. No, I appreciate it. I know you were sick, so.
All right.
All right, we have project update. I don't see Farouk. Oh, I see Daniel. Daniel, are you waiting for Levi or no?
Dorn.
I'm sorry, Dorn. Are you waiting for Levi?
I haven't talked to him, but
I know Farouk, I got an email. Larry, our project manager, is ill. I see something going around. So he's sending Farouk today to give us from the project manager insight of that. Is there anything you would like to share?
sure, we're working on the 9 buildings that were right in the beginning, phase 4, all of phase 4, and buildings 16, 17, and 18. Right now, we're just in phase 4. We're doing the facade. We're removing the wood around the window frames, and we're installing stock over there, and we're starting to paint the buildings. So anybody that wants to go into phase 4 to take a look to see, we have 2 buildings are almost finished. Building 22, building 21 is painted on the upper level. We're working on the first level right now to finish the stucco repairs, and we're gonna paint that building.
I have a question for you. In building and phase, this is building where you guys have already started painting, building 22, which is, I believe, Mod's building. You know, I walk back there at different times where the sun is, and to try to get the effect and so forth. I do notice, I'm hoping the answer is this is only the first coat, because there's a
Yes.
second coat coming, correct?
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
it's tinted 75% to the color, so the actual color is being was put on today.
Is this what we're seeing, is this primer or this is the color?
That's the first coat, is the primer.
It's the primer.
Right.
So that's not the white, the origami white.
It's tinted to the origami white 75%, so
Got it.
it looks close, but it's not the finished
Got it.
product.
The other question I have for you is the soffit screens, right? The soffit screens. Are you planning to replace them?
I'm sorry, what is the song?
You know how you have the overhang, like, for example, if you stand in front of your building has a thing, and underneath.
Oh, yes.
What is that called? Is it soffits? It's the soffit screen.
It's a soffit, yeah.
Are you replacing those screens?
I noticed that, I haven't talked to Levi yet about that, but he started to change some of the screens on building 22.
Because they need to be changed. That's part of the roofing system as far as I'm concerned. So they have to be changed. They're really, not that they're in bad shape, they're ugly. And now with a nicely freshly painted building, they stand out like a sore thumb. So we need to revisit that. I'm glad Farouk, come forward. So we're just starting, project update, Farouk.
Sure, continue on.
Yeah, no, I was just addressing the paint, you already answered the paint, the building 22, it's the first coat. The other thing I'm addressing is the soffit and the roof overhang.
Yes.
They need to be replaced.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
The X, the red X, remind me what that is again?
It's in engineering.
The markings.
Marking with the stucco, the delimited stucco outside.
And the X means they have to chip in that
Yes.
area?
Yes.
And once they chip, what are they doing? They're chipping to what extent?
What I'm doing is I have like a steel hammer. I'm going and sounding the old wall. After this, if I'm sounding like there is like sound
You're
or
going to
something,
follow.
if I hear something, so I mark it. After this, they have to come and remove the stucco totally.
Okay.
Then apply the new stucco.
That's only if it's chipped,
Yeah,
so that's like a repair of
exactly.
that area.
And the step ones are the
The steps,
foundation,
there is a crack,
foundation
yeah.
settlement cracks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There is a crack. They have to open around the crack, like around 6 inches around the crack, fill it by grout or like some bonding material, then fill it again, cover it by another
The
stuff.
cracks that you've chipped into, do you see anything with rebar, any concerns
No,
for us?
it's only
just natural settlement?
Yeah, exactly.
So far?
Except building 21.
Okay. Now, I know there's 3 buildings in phase 4 that were pending a proposal
Yeah, for
for
the
the foundation
Foundation
examination
settlement,
and the cracks on the side.
yeah
That's building 22, 21, and building 20.
20. Yeah.
When
But
can
the
the board
measure- the-
receive the proposal?
There is Alpha. What is called? There's a company called Alpha Foundation.
Okay, are you talking about the Alpha
No, I'm
Foundation?
talking about the testing. I'm not
what?
talking about the
Yeah,
repairs.
Alpha
I'm talking about the
Alpha
testing.
Foundation. Yeah, it's Alpha Foundation.
Yeah, Alpha.
Yeah.
What is
Alpha Foundation.
Okay, so we did consulted with them,
Yeah.
and they did submit a proposal. They went inside and they walked around the building, and they're coming up with a lot more helical paths than what we anticipated. So I rejected the proposal because they were asking for 11 helical paths. Crazy.
11 was.
Yeah, 11 helical paths to support.
What
What
is
they-
that?
A helical path is type of a
Foundation.
foundation system which is made out of a steel rod and fan underneath that they drive in, and they hold the at the edge of it, they hold the side of the monolithic footing so it does not let it settle anymore. So what happened is they walked inside the unit and then they looked at it and they are saying that by visual observation or whatever the measurement they did is they were thinking that the whole room was settling. Maybe, but what we observed from outside that the wall is just not the whole building, and I didn't see any step crack from outside. So on behalf of the association, I mean, based on my professional, review of that proposal, I rejected that, and I'm going to have them revise that and not run around and do the whole building foundation, just to stabilize the area of that wall where it's settling, and that should suffice. But let's see, their proposal will come in next week or so, a revised one.
Okay, I'm a little confused for,
Yeah,
when I spoke with Larry, he
Yes.
mentioned there's 2 steps. One is to the testing that the engineers do, trenching, do your own assessment. The next step is to get whatever you identified as the issue, you do a scope of work, and then we bid it out to Alpha or whoever foundation that is and some others.
okay. So we're talking about 2 issues over here. The issue I was discussing that is straight up, you have a wall which is settling, and we need to stabilize that wall. We do not want it to settle any further. So that is straight up, get the Alpha Foundation, give us a bid on that. The other issue is the water penetration inside the unit from that exterior wall, which we are going to submit a proposal to you that our company will do the water intrusion test to find out actually where the exact location of the water penetration inside the unit. And then once we find that out, then we have to go ahead and do the intrusive investigation by opening it up at the foundation level, see how much of stuff is cracked. We did similar to, remember at phase 4, that wall was cracked or the wall was going inside. So that's yet to come, but I was just telling you straight up, the stabilization of the foundation.
So when can the unit owners, for example, the end unit owner is Maud, build 22, where she actually has water in the flooring, come on. And it happened over the weekend when it didn't even rain. So where's that water coming from?
That is a very good question, you have to investigate. She had water,
She
without
had
any
water.
rain?
Not a leak, she had water. She sent a picture this weekend. She had a little puddle of water at the edge of her unit, and it didn't rain, right? So, and I asked her, do you have sprinklers there? She said no.
Well,
That is the unit, end unit that has the root system from the city tree.
next time, when you do have something sick like that, you need to give us a call. We can go there and look at it ourselves. This is surprising, without any rain, you have a puddle of water. Now you need to know, it cannot be a groundwater level. The groundwater level does not come up that much. Maybe you're a broken plumbing pipe or something like that.
Who do you suggest I call? Because I will.
No. Call the project manager who is assigned to you, which is Larry in this case, and he will make the arrangement of the appropriate professional to go out there and look at it and be able to advise you why that water is there.
What's the time frame on that? Because I have other activities. I mean, you know, is that gonna be within the next 6 hours after I call Larry? Or
You
right
just
away?
call Larry and then he will advise you when the engineer is gonna be there. Most likely he will be there to look at the water, where the water came from. This is it's not normal, you know, all of a sudden you have a water tunnel, you know, without any rain, that's not normal. It could be your sprinkler system broken, or it could be your broken plumbing pipe, I don't know. It cannot be groundwater.
Okay. Building 21, that the end unit, that's Mr. Poseda. That's the gentleman that sought out Alpha Foundation, right? Do we have an update for him?
That is what I'm saying, that's what I was saying, that the Alpha Foundation submitted a proposal to stabilize the wall, and we rejected that, and they will resubmit their proposal again.
Okay. Building 20, that's the northern end wall, that's the Betty Siskin unit. What's the game plan on that for
The
testing?
plan on that is that we are going to perform a water intrusion test on that, and we are gonna come up with the bottom of it, that where the water is coming from, and then whatever the preventions we can do to stop the water going inside.
But that particular building had water intrusion no more. It does have sprinklers a little bit too close to the building. So we capped them, they're supposed to cap them off until you determine what's causing those cracks. And if the building has cracks, you don't want water spraying anywhere on that wall. So I passed by this afternoon and I spoke with Debbie today again, and I'm looking, and those sprinkler heads are still not capped. After she told me she was sending them today. Do you have an update?
My understanding was the tech went and I think it was supposed to knock on the door. And
No,
go
that
over.
was yesterday, Jay.
I knew that.
That was
No,
yesterday.
That's what they said today.
This morning I spoke to her, and she sent a confirmation email, and I gave her, she reiterated, she said, so do you want that side north building capped until the engineer has an opportunity to water test and to check the cracks? I said, yes, cap them until a solution, and then we can determine if the sprinklers can stay, that they be moved, whatever. But I passed on my way home, I looked, and I see a few sprinkler heads still there. I don't see the little
truck
ball.
out there today.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a call again in the morning. This is very
Um,
frustrating.
Doran, when you removed the wood around the windows in phase 4, did you see any issues that were problematic with the windows moving or anything like that, or did it go smooth?
Well, there is some issues in phase 4 on some of the buildings that the original builder that built, they didn't put them level. Some are higher, some are lower, so what they did is they inserted wood, around the window, on the top portion of the window. So
I don't understand what you're talking about, I'm sorry, I lost you. What's
the
the
doors,
issue?
the windows and the doors, they're supposed to be level.
Level.
Okay, so some of them are not level, they're higher or lower. And they have wood headers, I think they're called, that go around the window or on top of the window to.
The wood box? The wood box, the
So
frame?
yes,
Let me explain that. So what it is the masonry opening, okay, was probably larger than the actual size of the window or door in this case. So usually what happens in masonry opening, they install wood block, one by something throughout.
So it's
However,
wood.
when you install the door or a window, in some location, because of the deficiency in the perimeter opening, it's not level, it's not straight, it's not throughout the same line. So what they do is they insert shim in there to make it level or to make it close, and then after that they caulk it from outside. That's why I'm saying that probably he definitely ran into in some location where the window size was less than the size of the opening. So whatever the additional gap was, that was covered by adding pieces of wood in there to UV3, at least which is normal, which is not very abnormal, but that shouldn't be the case, but that.
So I know a lot of the people are wondering, like, when you were taking out the wood, the wood around the trim, how were the windows? And it doesn't sound like there was any rot that made any of the windows like come out, so I guess that's good news, right?
So,
Yeah.
so phase 4 is concrete, the masonry opening is concrete. So that concrete masonry opening is not gonna deteriorate, maybe there is some deterioration in there. What it is, the deteriorated that wood buck around it or any extra additional wood shim in there, that deteriorated. So once that is removed, everything is removed, when you have a masonry opening, whoever the window installer is, they can take the actual measurement of that opening and provide the window, and if the window is a little bit less or more, they can adjust it by adding more wood.
You know what's interesting, Farouk, is
Yeah.
when I was removing my shutters and stuff, and I removed the light in preparation for the taking down, I noticed that in building 22, the exposed wood buck that you see on the top and so forth, my unit, interesting enough, I expected to see wood. It's concrete. So I don't know what the developer was doing.
So in some cases, if they have a window, they brought a window which is almost the size of the masonry opening, in that case, they don't have place to install the wood box. What they do is just push the window in and use some plastic shim right at the location.
No, I'm
Where,
talking
what
about
they
the
did,
front
I don't know
door.
what they did, but that's what happened when there's not enough space.
I'm
in
talking
between.
about the front door.
That's what I'm
When
saying.
that wood came off, when it-
Yeah.
I said, okay, it's gonna, I'll shoot, I'm gonna have wood exposed. It's concrete. It's the weirdest thing. And then her building, you see all the exposed wood box on the top of the doorway.
I don't know, a wood box you'll be able to see only when you take the whole frame out. I am not sure that, are you still looking at that trim of that wood door or window?
Yes.
And you're thinking that is, just flush along the concrete, it's
No,
not.
this is wood.
You have to take it
Yeah.
out, you know?
This is
No,
wood.
sir,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
talk later. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, there's some inconsistency in the
Yeah.
way they finish these buildings because
Yes,
all your buildings had wood exposure and you would think you'd have concrete. If you remove a piece of wood on top of
that's
the door.
that's a trim of that door or window.
Right, mine doesn't have it, and I suspect, yes.
I think what's happening is, when they take the first layer of trim off, there's another piece of wood behind it.
Yeah.
And
Exactly,
then come back and take that one off later, so
Yes.
they haven't taken yours off yet.
yes.
I noticed that on ours too.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, so
that is not
interesting.
the true representation of what got going in your.
no, I
your window,
understood,
windows.
yeah,
These
I just
things.
thought it was weird.
Excuse me, Farouk, do you have a card for Larry with his number on it? Because I don't have Larry's number.
I will give you that.
Okay. This lady back here.
By the way, board, he's sick right now, that is why he's here on.
Yeah, he had notified.
If I don't have all the information that you're looking for, I apologize in
We
advance.
did upload, Eric did upload, last week's, progress report,
Yeah,
the pictures, so those are up on, so, yeah, as long as they stay weekly on top of that report, so that everybody that lives in phase 4 and anybody that wants to see it, sees it, their progress. All right, so is there any other updates, Doran, about the project before we open the floor and give the owners an opportunity to ask questions here?
we're just proceeding to, with the stucco repairs and the painting of the buildings at this time.
Okay, so that everybody has the opportunity to speak once. Remember when we adopted the new board meeting, we want everybody to have an opportunity to talk. So if you have another question after your 3 minutes, just wait patiently, make sure everybody has an opportunity to speak at least once, and then we'll circle back to you, okay? All right, go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, the last time, excuse me,
Farouk.
may I ask you a question, please? The last time you said you were waiting for the structure permit for phase 2. Did you get a permit already?
We have some permits, but just roofing permits. We haven't filed yet for structural permits on phase 2.
You didn't file yet, but you said you are waiting for it, so it's not filed yet?
But I think he did apply for the phase 3 and 4 for the structural permit. He already got some of the drawings for the phase 2 and other phases. And he will, as he progresses, he will go ahead and submit that. It's not that he just gave me some document right now to sign, so I will sign it.
So we have no idea when you are going to start phase 2 yet, right? Because no idea.
Not yet, no. We're still working through the window issues and
It is not true that they don't have an idea. They do have an idea. They are working on phase 4 and phase 3 right now. And as they come to progress the work, they'll issue the Gantt chart showing the other phases, but they have not gotten to that yet. It's not that they don't know what's going on. They do know what's going on. It's just they have not provided you the paperwork for your review.
That comes to the next issue with phase 1 and 2 is the upper windows. So,
And part of phase 3.
And part of phase 3. So the contractor has already expressed that he's not touching those windows. So there has to be a coordination. Larry is going to need to coordinate with these unit owners so that when you do have the structural, you have the roofing permits, correct? Have they been applied for those phase 1 and 2?
well, we have for the priority buildings.
For the
So
what?
I cannot file permits because they're gonna expire, if you don't start the construction.
What is the delay in getting the permits for 1 and 2?
I was just gonna ask that.
Okay, the delay in getting the permits for phase 1 and 2 is getting the homeowners to sign up for to change the windows.
Okay.
Because
That's not the issue. The issue is the contract.
Excuse me, we need quiet so we can continue
The
the
issue
conversation.
is the contractor will not remove the windows unless the unit owner is ready to determine if that window is removed, they have to make arrangements to have it removed because you have to replace the T111 with hardy board around that, okay?
that's entirely correct. So
I have asked you to put that down, Sean. You are disrupting the meeting.
Stop it.
Okay.
You are causing problems for our community.
Stop it.
All of you.
Okay.
Stop it,
So,
Sean.
Doran, the issue is, Levi has made it very clear that a unit owner has to be ready with a contractor to come out to remove their existing window. Now,
it's either that they have to do it in the beginning or they sign with us so that we can coordinate the work. The reason
whoever
for that,
determines, whether they go with ABC Window Company, whoever they decide to go with. The point is, they have to be ready. When you're ready for their building, those building owners that have the top window need to coordinate with you all, whether if they're gonna bring an outside contractor to remove that window, they have to have that contractor ready, waiting to replace that window. And if that window, according to Rudy Esteva from Plantation, if that window is removed, it's damaged, it's compromised, then the unit owner has no choice but to replace it. Now, if it's the upper window, he writes, Windows are not mandatory for the 40-year. However, wait, hold on, it says, 40-year certification only pertains to the electrical and structural divisions as their safety or critical items that are checked. Windows are not mandatory that you must upgrade. However, when you do swap them out, contractor ABC comes, ready for Austria, okay, here, Austria, I'm taking the window out. That window has to be in good repair and acceptable to put back. If not, the unit owner says they must, the city says they must be impact or covered by shutters. Some storm panels can only be used on the first floor, and then recent codes restrict installation against shutters to systems on the top, unless you can close it.
That's 100% correct.
I have a question.
Hold
I
on a
have my hand
second,
up.
hold
I
on
have my
a
hand
second,
up.
hold on a second, yes.
Okay, first of all, there's a difference between placing a window and a window system. If you break a pane, you can have the pane replaced without replacing the whole system, number one. And that sounds like the same email that I got from Rudy as well.
Correct, I have the email, so we're all on the same page.
Yes.
I'm not talking about a window pane, I'm talking about when the window is compromised. In construction world, that means it's
They break
no
it, they buy
longer,
it.
it is no longer acceptable to put back because the window frame
If
bends.
they break it, they buy
That's
it.
why you're gonna get your own contractor
That's
to
why
remove your
we're not
window.
touching
That's
because
why. You're
you're
gonna
not-
get your own contractor.
Okay, as a contractor, if I go and take your window, I better be able to put it back the same day so that your interior is protected, so I don't open myself to lawsuits from you, okay? By same token, when you change the facade of the building on the second story and you have a window, and you open around the window and it's rotted there, you have rotted wood, okay? And I have to take the window out to be able to repair the studs in there in the wall and put a new hardy board. I cannot put back the same old window that you have there. By the code, you have to replace it with the impact.
Okay.
If you cannot reach it with without a ladder, it has to be impact on the second floor.
All right. So what I have to say in here is we need to establish, prior to getting to those windows, that when he is performing repairs to the exterior of that building, such as, the hardy board, he's gonna reach to the windows. And the window is mounted on top of the hardy board, which means that once he removes the hardy board
It's
out,
on T111.
T111, that window may become loose. Now, what we need to establish right here is the contractor removing the window or your own contractor is removing the window.
Correct.
Now, what I heard in my previous conversation, the contractor said, if I am not, contractor means them, they're saying, if I'm not replacing the window, I'm not touching the window. Because as soon as I touch the window, if anything gets damaged, I'm gonna have to buy it. And since I'm not replacing the window, I am not buying nobody's window.
Correct.
Therefore, if any unit owner decides to change their windows, they have to have their contractor present at that time to remove the window, store the window, they can perform the repairs on the masonry opening, and then the same unit owner's contractor can put the window back on.
Correct.
Why at that point in time? Why not right after, and you work somewhere else and you come back to that area?
The means, and I'm in 100% agreement with you, the means and method can be established, but we need to establish this, who is touching that window? And if that is not
And that's
established,
where the building owners in a respective
Exactly.
building need to collaborate because your building is not gonna be touched until you collaborate. How do you guys
Exactly.
wanna handle that top system?
and not to mention, we're running into a rainy season, so
Yeah.
whenever that
Yeah.
window is removed, the
Hurricane
interior
season.
has to be protected using weather wall. Because if it rains, the water is gonna get inside and things are gonna get damaged. And this is wood structure. So we have huge issue in our hand. This has to be established, resolved before they can even approach to those places
Exactly
where
right.
they have wooden structures.
You had a question?
Okay, so my question is, why not file the permits? Because you're not ready to touch touch phase 2 yet? Is that what it is? Is that why we haven't even filed the permit?
Yes,
Because that's two
we need to
separate
establish,
things.
we need to establish the window situation on the second story, because roof and facade, you have to do both simultaneously in order to ensure that the windows are waterproof, because you have to put a flashing. The windows are this much from the lower roof, so you have to open it to put the flashing there, okay? So then you have to touch the frame of the window box. So,
Okay, so you're basically not ready for phase 2 yet?
Exactly.
Because
And not, and one more thing, given the structural
Or phase
component, one more thing, given the structural component of that building,
Three
there
and
is,
half of 4 don't, but
there is a possibility,
the other half of 3 does.
So they haven't touched that part yet?
Right, they only touched half of phase 3 because they don't have that upper window issue. That's where they've stopped, those 9 buildings.
so what we are anticipating here is when they get to that part of those buildings where they are wooden structure up above, they are having a 40-year of not properly maintaining the window openings and not properly caulking and all that, it is our projection that quite a few of them will have damaged structural components around the masonry opening, which is the window opening, such as 2x6 or 2x4, whatever you have there. And it is damaged, and then it has to be replaced again.
I would
And
think there would
being
be
replaced.
interior leaks if that was the case.
So that I will establish, I work on your behalf, I will make sure that he's not doing anything more than what is required. But what I'm anticipating is most likely you have 60 to 70% of those windows that are gonna be requiring repairs, where you have window failure.
So for example, I'm a building of 3.
Yes,
Okay, so and we all have those upper windows.
yes,
So as a building, if we come together and say we're all 3 ready,
correct.
then we could let you all know and you can start there. Or do you file the permit then?
I
Let's
can
say
fi-
we're ready, the 3 of
Okay,
us,
so,
for
yes, we
that
need to
one
know-
building.
we need to know if you're going to choose your own contractor
Right.
for the windows and
Yeah.
Right.
doors, or you're gonna choose us.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's an advantage in terms of coordination if you choose us, and also I think you have a little bit of a price break if you choose us. It's easier for us to coordinate and to do the work simultaneously on all, on the roofs, on the facade, and on the windows.
So Margie, you hit it right on the head. As a building, if you have an upper window, get with your 3, 4, 5 other unit owners and say, guys, the work is being delayed until we as unit owners decide what we want to do with our windows.
Exactly. And as,
What? Because how long does a permit expire after you open?
exactly, that's what I was
Well,
gonna agree.
if you don't do any work, I think it's 3 months if you don't file
It's
for.
waste of money.
And how long does it take, so let's say you set the permit, you get the permits, you set it, everybody gets on board, you submit the permits, how long before work can start? How long
Well,
would it?
typically, the permits take about 2 weeks to 3 weeks to review, depending on circumstances.
So as long as
And,
3 weeks, once everybody's on board, you can start.
Yeah.
It's up to the city, so that's
That's
gonna be their deal,
And
but.
rainy season.
Decide in your building who's gonna remove your windows, whether you do it individually, or you each get the same contractor, it doesn't matter. Somebody has to take responsibility of your upper window. Once you've coordinated that, that's the toughest part. Coordinate it, and then coordinate it with them, and then the building, they can put in the permit for the building, and they can start the roof of that building.
So question, real quick before you, what are you gonna do with the architectural windows? What about those?
So we already have established, it's not required by the code that you need to replace the window. It does not. However, as she explained, if it's damaged, if it cannot go back in, then you have to do the.
But that's not my question.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about the 3 2s that have the architectural windows? What about those windows?
What architectural windows?
The funny shaped
The,
windows.
Oh, the triangle windows?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, if I can just step in, I just had a company quote me, SoFlo Impact Windows, to replace those windows. They're not very expensive to replace with impact. So if you're going to consider redoing your homes with impact window and doors, don't forget those top windows.
So that's part of it though. That's part of the windows that have to be replaced. Or possibly
Well, for
replaced.
example, my previous unit owner put railings and I have the steel sliders the old panels on those top things. I'm getting rid of that and I'm putting an impact, and they're called, there's a name for those triangle windows. But the companies that make, just so you
Those are
know,
fixed windows, right?
the only manufacturer that makes those triangle windows, I'll tell you now, if you're interested in knowing,
But it's
it's
not,
not PGT, it's not EW, I'll tell you who it is.
So it's not known yet if they have to be replaced or not.
Okay,
I
Sean,
think it's
Sean
gonna be-
brought up a very good point. If we have an architectural window, those are special windows, so we need more time to have that kind of window.
So the issue.
It's Eco Window System is the only,
This is a joke. I'm serious. This is a
Eco
joke.
Window System is the only manufacturer that would do those that could do those triangles locally.
So I think the issue is that any window that comes out, if it's damaged more than 50%, it cannot go back in.
Back in, right.
Okay, so
they
that's the
won't know
bottom
when
line,
it's
and
built.
that's what the City of Plantation, Rudy Esteban says. Okay, if it's damaged more than 50%, it cannot go back in, right? If it's less than 50%, then replacement parts can be ordered, but they're not gonna be responsible for that.
Right.
I recommend that somebody take ownership of their building and be the leader and get your 5-6 unit owners together and say, look, we're holding up our own process. Let's decide what we're gonna do. Does anybody have a contractor? Does somebody has to be ready when they're ready, when that window removes and they're doing their repairs to the roof and so forth. Whoever you designate to replace that window has to be on point. If not, you're gonna have an open window. We're going into hurricane season, so it takes coordination.
This is all the discussing what these contractors were brought into this community.
This is what?
This should have, all these details should have been discussed before they were brought into our community to start this work.
Yes.
Not you, because you made the decision. Yes.
Hold on a second. How do you do that when you don't know what you're dealing with?
Because the contractor's supposed to.
Okay, but this is what they've been telling us. They've been telling us this from the beginning. We've been talking about
Okay, then
this
you
for
chose the wrong
months.
contractor.
What does that have to do with anything? It's still an
I was
issue.
fine with that.
It's still an issue. The windows are still an issue.
Can I speak?
Yes,
I
sir.
live in phase 1, and all this time I was thinking that they were gonna come to us to, interview with us or talk with us, look at the house and then present a package or present an option. That's never happened, so now for the first time, I'm hearing we're supposed to take action and talk to our neighbors, to rally up. We're supposed to do that?
That's
I
not
thought
true.
that they were coming to us
No.
to have.
Because
in other
when they
words,
changed
so
that-
in other words, phase 1, right, is you're waiting for action from the residents of phase 1. When I didn't know you were waiting for action for me to do anything, I thought they were gonna come and present an option.
So let me ask you a question.
Am I
If they
wrong?
do change their mind,
Am I
let's
wrong?
just say they do
Am I
change the
wrong?
process.
Was that
How are
not-
you supposed to know?
well,
Do you
well,
come to the
I
meeting? Do you
do.
go to the
Oh my
website?
I do come to
Nobody
the
does
meetings,
because they hate
and
coming in here.
it's insulting.
Let's please allow,
Let's
one person at a time, please.
She's attacking me.
I'm not
I
attacking you.
feel attacked. Because
Not at all.
You're posturing.
Not at all.
Look at what you're doing.
Not at all.
Okay,
Sir,
then
But
let me
what you're
speak.
saying
Then let me speak.
is not
Can I
the
speak?
case.
Can I speak?
Please,
Can I speak? Can I speak? This is my first time speaking. I've been a resident here for about 5 years, right? Don't complain much. But I've seen things go down that I don't really think, is the right course of action. But at the very least, I feel it insulting that now you're saying that it's the residents' responsibility to rally people together when we have a professional company, everything's in order. We were told that they were going to come out, they were going to organize with the residents and come out. I work from home, so I'm always there. So you can't say that they come and nobody's home. So for you to say and argue with me, I know what I heard, I know what I was told. And so I'm waiting for that to take place. And you're new on the board, I've never seen you, but then for
I've
you-
been here 24 years.
Okay, great. But don't come at me saying, oh, well, if you're not, are you even at the meetings? I'm at this meeting, speaking right right now, right? So don't try to downplay my
Your
voice.
concern is not with being downplayed.
So, okay.
But
you're
what I'm
that.
saying is things have changed. A lot of things have
A
changed.
lot of things have changed.
They do change.
That's
The
great.
process does
That's
change.
great, but it's like change after change after change.
Of course, we're so
Which
old.
phase do you live in?
I live in 2.
Okay,
And I
great.
have, all 3 of us have those windows.
Okay, great.
So
And
that is an issue for me as well.
Are you just now finding out today?
Not at all. Not at all.
So then when was I supposed to know? Can that be answered?
I made
So,
sure I was informed
Let the
because I
contractor
come and I
respond,
get
because
informed.
the contractor has reported to us that they've been having trouble getting people to talk to them. Dora, do you
But
want to
that's the issue.
update what your efforts were in speaking to unit owners?
Because I work from home. What's the issue?
Understood, sir, understood. What has Ostrom done to engage the unit owners in trying to get them to agree to windows?
Well, we went to some of the phases, some of the buildings in phase 1 and 2, and
We're all saying nobody's coming. I've never seen them walk in the area, walk in the phase. I'm there every day.
Okay?
No.
So,
What do you
Doran,
mean? No.
No, I am agreeing with you. No, they haven't come to my building
Okay, that's what
either.
I'm saying.
all right, so Doran, what needs to happen is you need to go to phase 1 and 2 and start knocking on doors and asking them who's interested in the contractor price for windows, because if you guys don't decide which way you want to go, it's going to hold up the building.
Our lawsuits are gonna start rolling in.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? Somebody needs to go and knock on these doors and speak to residents that are home, or schedule yourself here at a certain time and notify unit 1, phase 1 and 2 that the Ostro is here to discuss windows. You have a sample of a window there, schedule it like that. So if the unit owner wants to go with you, fine. If the unit doesn't want to go with you, fine. But they have to understand that these are your 2 options and we need to move. So schedule yourself here a couple of nights a week. You're on property anyways.
I'm sorry, just years ago, when they started collecting for the assessment, everything was included. Everything was included. The roof, the T111, yes, the windows, everything was included. As time goes on, as we get older, as we don't have money, as the roofs are getting older, things change. These windows have been in here for months. I knew that it was going to be my responsibility to take care of them. I knew that. It is what it is. But the problem is it's more money and more effort on our part. Okay, now the
What are we
process
resolving
changed,
here?
but that is what it is.
Okay, I just gave a solution to the contract.
So then it should be closed.
Okay, come on. I just gave an option to the contractor. Please set up a couple of nights a week. Farouk, can you talk to Larry, please?
I'm gonna give you a
Prime example of
recommendation.
good leadership.
I'm gonna give you a recommendation. We can choose one day, any evening, contractor will be here, my project manager will be here, and every unit owner from every phase can come in and tell them who wants to change their window or who does not want to change their windows, and give you the prices there. Let's not even get into knocking on the door, somebody's there, somebody's not there, we can schedule one day here, and you all can come in and
I would also recommend a Saturday.
or a Saturday, or a Sunday.
One night in the week,
Yes.
and one Saturday,
Yes.
mid-morning to
Yes.
get those that work during the day and
Yes.
opportunity.
That would be perfect, so we don't have to wait for you to be at home. You can come here and tell them, and then after you get the price, you can shop around and see if you want to get your own.
Dorvin, do you know what your schedule is like, sir?
Why don't we know the schedules that the buildings are gonna be replaced first? That you wanna replace first?
Okay.
Before you start having the whole community do this nonsense?
We have what
Cause you keep changing the
night of
schedule.
the week and what Saturday are you available to speak to unit owners in this clubhouse about about their interest in windows. Do you have any
Okay,
dates
so-
or times?
Tomorrow morning, I'll post notices on all the units.
That
Okay,
have the upper
we'll have
windows?
notices there, and we'll have the times. One evening, I don't know what's best, Thursday.
Include unit, I mean, phase 3 also, because I mean, I keep
Yes.
hearing 1 and 2, but
So-
phase 3 has the same problem.
Saturday and
We'll have, the first meeting will be on, Thursday.
No, don't give a date yet, just talk to your team first, and then we'll send an email out, or we'll send a post-it note on your doors, saying that one Saturday and one weeknight in the evening at 7 p.m.
We've had at least 2 or 3 construction schedules change since this whole thing's commenced. We need
Welcome
to
to
get organized
construction.
here. We need to get organized.
Welcome to construction.
No.
Welcome to
Bad
construction.
leadership. That's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I think we are getting organized now, I think it makes sense.
No, you're not.
It happens.
What happened with this whole crew getting fired like a couple weeks ago? Yes, 100%. You did all this.
So,
Oh,
I'm,
You did.
I hope you get
Make
that
your
motion.
bed. You made your bed.
I hope you get that motion meeting, sir.
Oh.
Yes.
I am in agreement with my colleague that,
We're
how
doing
she
this for
said,
20 years.
that these windows, keep in mind,
Any other
have been
questions?
used.
We have a question in the house, please. Yes, ma'am.
So more as a advice, if we can all get, because I know it's been going on where, okay, fine, we need to decide whether or not we're gonna bring a contractor or not, but let's do it, let's post it.
Yes,
Let's
that's
post
what
it. We gotta
he's
move
gonna
it.
get back to you. It's gonna be posted on the website, it's gonna be posted in the mailboxes, 1, 2, and half of 3, because half of 3 has upper windows, okay?
And also on
We're gonna
that,
have 2 days, we have 1 evening and 1 weekend, so people can come to the clubhouse on posted hours. You need to be prepared with pricing again, it's on the website, please have pricing available, all that, please.
with that, now our concern to keep moving would be only those top windows. We don't need to start discussing the rest of the windows, correct?
Depends what condition your window is. Mine's
But
mine's
if they're
40
doing
plus years
roofs.
old. I'm afraid if I take mine out, it'll come
But if they're
out.
only doing roofs,
That's where somebody needs to assess your windows. If you're concerned, if you walk around, some unit owners have changed their windows throughout the years. Some are impact, some are not impact, you can tell. The newer windows, you have a lot of units with original windows. This community is
I have those
40,
long top windows that are, they're same, most likely.
44 years old is phase 4, okay? So you have people that still have 44-year-old windows, yes.
Now, my next concern is, we're getting very close to June, where we're gonna have to start paying.
Exactly right.
What's gonna happen when the construction has been frozen for we haven't seen the amount of people working and the trucks and all that, we haven't seen that, we don't know how fast we're going. At least
Okay, so
that's my
every
perspective.
week there's a progress report that's uploaded on the Omega website. Eric just posted this past week, so Larry, at the end of the week, the project, he summarizes the week before. So like Monday, I'll send it to Eric, upload it so people see what's happening.
But it's not at the speed that we were hoping.
Because those are the roofers. You're used to seeing the roofing crew that work fast. That's what you're used to seeing. Now what we're seeing is very slow. We're seeing stucco, paint, it's the slowest process right now. But you're referring to when they brought in like 60, 70 people and like boom, 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 tear off roofs.
Yeah,
That was quick.
Now, so where do we stand financially when June comes? When things are going slower than expected and, are we still gonna have to start paying? Where do we stand with the loan, the line of credit, wherever it is, what do we
And
stand?
that's the
July
reason a lot of
15th.
people aren't wanting to pay for extra window systems right now until they see what's gonna happen in this construction process.
I don't wanna start paying if maybe my unit won't get to maybe
Until
2 years.
the end of
That's
the year.
not how the assessment works.
Well, you can let us know if the
assessment
window needs
works-
replaced or not
the
first, and then we make a
assessment
decision.
works That the
Nothing to do
about
with that.
equity line, blah, 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 okay. Regardless if your building has started or not, the assessment starts
July 15th.
July 15th.
Just like we've been paying for 10 years into the restoration project. We've already been paying a little bit a month.
But it's a big chunk on top of the.
Well, exactly. Plus, the sooner we get our roofs done, we can help with our renewal in June. That's where the mitigation, that's what I'm telling you. So, you wanna reiterate about the meeting and the windows and stuff so we can move
Alright,
forward?
so then again, I am advising you or recommending you, I work for you, so I look at your best interest. I don't have any interest in who is calling the window and who is not. I'm watching over whatever is being done over here. So I would highly recommend use one contractor such as whoever is on the premises. By doing that, you can save money on permitting, because if you use your own contractor, he may have to apply for a permit by himself. So there's additional cost for that, all that. And then if you have one contractor who's on the premises and his prices are lower than the others that you shop around, it makes a lot of sense to use the contractor who is on site rather than going out there and getting another contractor, because there is going to be issues with the construction in progress, because they will not have their window on site at the time, or they won't have their crew on site while they're waiting, and it's gonna create conflict throughout. So that's my recommendation.
And you can't do any pre-test to test the beams there and let us know ahead of time?
Yes, Sean, you're absolutely right, but every unit, every window is unique by itself. We don't know until we open it up. So therefore, we can test one window, all right? We can tell about that window, but we are not going to be able to tell about that window.
There's 2 windows up there, 2.
Okay, a building had 50 windows, so you can do tests.
Each unit has 2 at the top. The
Yeah,
2
but
story.
we're not
I'm
going
talking
to
about
start
the whole,
moving.
Oh, now you're talking all windows.
the whole window. You wanna make the decision, you can't make the decision about the 2 on top, and then not do anything about the bottom, so when we come to the bottom,
we're
then
still
we say,
We don't have the money to pay for all the windows. That's why we would like to do the top one first.
and then what happened when you get to the bottom?
Unfortunately,
It is that. It is 100%.
Yeah, that, I mean, that's an issue.
That was part of
That's an
not
issue.
planning from
Because,
the beginning.
because
listen,
now you're pushing us
because-
to change on the windows.
exactly,
Okay, got
exactly.
it. In order for the building to pass the 40-year certification requirements, you have to have the roof and the building both repaired at the same time, and the electrical parts.
Well, they
So
should
if you do
have
the roof, if you do the roof, not do the remainder of the building, your building will not pass.
So basically,
So we're on
it's,
square one again, we're back to the
no,
beginning.
no. So basically, you won't know until you actually get started. It's possible you'll have to change the top and the bottom.
Right, we don't know. We can't tell you until we open it.
No,
Yeah, but you're
And that's
talking
any
right now all the
contract.
windows. You are not only talking about the 2 on the front.
And I would suspect the windows are fine if there's no leaks on your interior.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
so.
we have the glass doors, which are
And
fine.
after all these recent storms, I mean, we have windstorms.
No, no,
and
you're right, you're right.
and not no leaks inside.
You're
Except for the roofs. The roofs.
Every window has to be assessed, he's the engineer.
That's right.
Yeah, you're an engineer, I happen to be an engineer too. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And I'm listening to you.
I am your engineer. I have no interest if the window becomes gray or not.
I understand that. All I wanna go is to the bottom line, the dollar sign. How much it's gonna cost
Yes, sir.
and why you have to change all the windows.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because to my interest is only to change the top window and maybe the one on the lower floor.
Yes.
But not all the glass doors.
I get it. This is what I'm saying. But in order for your building to pass the certification, both top and bottom has to be addressed. And we cannot tell you about those, all the windows.
That I
down.
understand, I understand. Okay, but now, it's just my issue is, listen,
Yes, sir.
all the windows, yes or no? To pass a
We don't
certification.
know. We don't know.
They will never know.
We will know.
Then it's gonna happen if
Then
there's.
we need another contractor company to give us their opinion on this situation.
As you know, unfortunately, it's gonna happen, it's gonna go to my building, I'm gonna say you have to change all the windows.
No, no, no.
Thank you very much.
No, that's not true.
Thank you.
We're the engineer, we're not the contractor. I'm not gonna tell you to change all the windows. Why would I?
And what happens if it doesn't pass the 40 years of?
Okay, so the problem with you guys is you're under a time crunch.
Yeah, they could, like I said from the beginning, she get warranties.
If you don't repair your windows if you're building in allotted time by the city, you will start getting fined. So,
We've been getting fines.
or you're already being fined. You're gonna keep accumulating fines as long as you keep delaying.
Okay, let me just bring up a point here. The critical windows on phase 1, 2, and part of 3 are the upper windows, because that is part of the roofing system, okay? The roof cannot be replaced without those upper windows being touched, okay?
So we can
So
sign off
that
on those
is,
first?
excuse
We
me,
can sign off on those first and not have to worry about the other windows to get started?
that's what we're
Yeah.
trying to do here, is to get those upper windows, get the homeowners to agree on what to do on those upper windows so we can get the roof done, okay? The T111, the stucco, that can come along after, and that's something that can be replaced, but that roof is critical. And those upper windows are what is holding everything up. Am I correct?
She's absolutely correct. That is the requirement of the insurance company. You're under the gun from the insurance company to change the roof.
Which has no
By,
insurance.
yeah, so she's right. By doing that, you get a break from insurance company, or you can insure this problem. However, if you're done with that, it's not that you're done with everything. You still have the bottom portion of that building that you need to address.
It has to be addressed. It has to be addressed.
And that's part of the insurance, they look at the whole building, not just the roof.
Okay, that, you're accumulating fines. You're gonna be.
Exactly.
You have to address it.
They're gonna be 1.5 to 2.1 million by the time, 2 to 3 year project.
And most of that is already, will be reduced to less.
No, nobody said that. You
Don't
heard
yell
say
at
that.
me.
No, you yelled at me plenty of times.
All
I'm
right.
saying you right now.
God's sake!
And you can shut up too.
You can go fuck off! I am tired of
I
this!
don't care. I live here. You're
God,
in
get
my
the
home.
help you need! Jesus.
128, just like you.
Go get the help you need!
You need it too,
All right,
babe.
so are we clear that the upper
Woohoo!
windows
There you
are
go.
holding up, the upper windows are holding up the roof?
Excuse me,
Do you
you are
understand?
disrupting the meeting.
Oh, really? Oh, you are you kidding me? Call police right now.
Sit down.
Call police. No.
Sit down.
Call them right goddamn now. This is over. You're stepping over your line. It's time for the cops to come over. Step over the line. I think we need this. I think this meeting is done. Let's have a conversation. Thank you.
Okay, we have 32 units, we need a 75% vote.
No, she's gonna get a sleep. If I was in, I'll file lawsuits.
Okay.
I'm trying
you're stepping your line.
Okay. Under new business tonight, we have a vote where we sent out and did a re-vote for the Phase 2 proxies. The proxies went out 60 days ago. They're only good for 90 days. At 30 days, we did not have enough. We only had half that were needed. Over the past month, we have gotten enough proxies for the vote to be conducted tonight. 75% was needed to remove wood trim and to remove the trellises, which would be no additional cost to anybody. As of right now, out of the 32 units, 26 have returned proxies stating that they wish to remove the trim. So by vote tonight, we need a motion, a second, and an approval. We will pass that. The color was unfortunately not in line with the 75% vote. We had, out of the 26 proxies that were returned, 6 voted to keep the color or to not vote on color at all. 11 voted for the Java, 9 voted for the gray, which means that you will keep a grayish color as is right now. It'll be as close to what you've got right now, give or take a shade or two. We just need to do that vote because tonight is the night that we had it posted to do the vote. So under new business, I'd like to ask somebody to make a motion to approve Phase 2's proxies
I
and their
will make
vote.
that motion to approve Phase 2's proxies. Excuse me,
Okay.
sir, you're
Hold on.
disrupting the
Sir,
meeting.
we're in the
Sit
middle.
down.
Sir, we're in the middle of a motion. Please sit down.
He is disrupting the
Okay.
meeting.
You are.
Mary.
All they do is
Mary.
put on the sign. You
He
don't.
is disrupting the meeting.
Now, I need a motion.
I will make a motion to accept the proxies from Phase 2 to remove the trellises and the beams and the decorative stuff. Unfortunately, we will have to keep the existing paint color.
Correct. Do I have a second to that motion? Maritza's a second to that motion.
And
All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Aye. Okay, we have it unanimous.
Okay.
And Patty is an abstention. Okay, thank you. That allows us to be able to pass your motion. All of the phases have now complied with the 75% vote to remove the wood trim and the trellises.
So, is that the last thing on the agenda?
No.
Okay, Patty, we need to continue this meeting. Either that or I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. I'm sorry. We need to continue this meeting, please.
All right, I heard something about proxies.
We approved the Phase 2 proxies.
So did Phase 2 finally get?
So
the
Phase 2
color?
got 26 votes out of 32. They approved the removal of the trellis, the removal of the trim. They had 6 votes to either keep or not change color. They had nine votes for the gray and 11 votes for Java, so that it's going to have to stay a gray as it is right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so did you go to Medallion Paint and ask them for the Phase 2 original color?
With Levi, he's going to go ahead and
They
find
have
out.
our records.
So you are allowed to deviate within a shade either way. So what would happen, because there's been fading over the years, is we would ask Medallion to try and find a darker shade that would be as close to that color as possible, which would allow, as well as a darker on that also. All right.
All right, so phase 2, we can send a letter to the unit owners advising them the outcome of the process, which is just the removal of trellises, trim around the windows and doors.
Yes.
Other change? No. Okay. All right, we have open forum. Jay, this unit owner in the back, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Joan Hill.
Joan has an active leak. Can you please leave out, I keep calling you Levi. Doran, can you please, tomorrow, you're on property, can you please go see her unit? Can you get with this gentleman right here?
I'll give you her address.
Okay,
What the
what unit number? Joan,
1745, phase 2.
1745, phase 2. She's got pictures she can show you. Looks like the front. The front. Is that the front window? Yeah. I'm surprised mine even lasted weeks. Surprised the windows lasted. They stirred up. All right, open forum. Yes, ma'am.
The trees, the leaves, that's our issue.
Oh my God.
This is
The rotting,
The roof, my
roots,
roof.
they're being
No,
yes,
that's
gutters,
Yes.
it's all full of leaves.
Yes.
It's the gutters are planted.
Yeah.
Nobody trim back this.
What is your,
Your gutters are gonna be removed when the roof comes down.
Jay, we're talking about that now.
We need it today.
Patty, is the maintenance person supposed to clean the gutters?
You have gutter screens over everything, so there might be a need to take the screen off in order to get inside. Because,
We need to cut the trees, that's it, that's the solution. There's leaves all over, they're gathering all.
Okay.
The roof is damaged because.
okay,
Okay, what building number are you? What are we? You're phase 2.
Joan, it's your building?
Yes,
Okay.
they're my neighbors.
We'll have our person go into the gutters, see if we have to just remove the gutter screens and take a look and see if anything's wrong.
Yeah, the trees need to cut, not trim, but cut.
I mean, there's so many leaves fallen that they're accumulating on top of the roof, so they're rotting.
Damage the roof. I have pictures. I go into the roof and check everything.
I mean, that's the time of the year, it's the fall. I mean,
Let's cut the trees, let's cut some.
I know, but you can't just cut trees and eliminate trees just because there's
I'm
such.
sure you guys have more about that tree was the cut, and nobody come and cut it. The blue stickers was on the trees until they all fall off and everything. And when they come and cut that tree in the corner, there's nobody come back there and trim anything. You tell me that corner is not easy or it's hard to take care
Where's
of.
the location of the tree? Front or back, side? Where is it?
It's
You
right
know where
away
the park
By the
is?
It's
side.
the side, by your
There,
side and
with
the
all the
back.
in
trees.
front of my door.
Okay, we're talking about building 9,
Yes,
Phase
1745.
and we're talking about the front or the back of the building?
1745 in front of my front door. Yes. However you want to describe it.
It's her
In
side.
that open
She's
area.
It's the side.
It's the side, yeah.
It's her,
Side that's on Sunrise?
it's her side entrance.
No,
I
it's the
understand.
little
Where
green
you know
area.
the park is?
Yes.
Between phase 1 and phase 2.
Yes.
The leak is
You
because
get all that grass,
the leak
the
is getting down.
So she's an Indian. All the mature trees around there.
So my question to you, Jay, is why when Proscapes was here, why wasn't that tree cut? They did a major tree.
They did.
Did they that's,
They did not.
no, I'm saying if there's tree branches all over the roof, why didn't Proscapes trim back that tree? Is what I'm They're saying they cannot. They cannot.
They did not.
Absolutely we did.
I live there, they did not.
You wanna come with me? Hey, come up with me,
Jay. Okay, I'm gonna call Jerry from Proscapes myself. I have to do that often.
Patty, we're paying somebody to do this. It's not your job to be taking over and someone.
No, I understand, and that goes to my next agenda item, which I will excuse Jay. We'll take right now. I'm gonna call I have Jerry's number, I'm gonna call. That's it. I do. I've had to call FS Sprinklers, I have to now call Proscapes. I'm done. Okay, Jay, anything else for the community?
Hey.
All right, you're excused so we can talk about the next agenda item, please. Thank you.
No, get out to the.
I'm just gonna move this over here.
Where it is, and you have to look to see if you go into the street, how it's street. The hedges, you have to basically get into the street, why are they trimming the hedges?
Okay. That leads me to my next question. If someone could please close the door for me. All right, let me tell you our next agenda item. This is why we want the management company here, because we want to finish what is about this. So just so you know, you may have seen on Sunday, I posted on the mailboxes, we have a new
Excuse me,
management
we have one
company
meeting,
vendor.
please, one meeting.
Jay has submitted his 60-day notice to the association. He did it about 2 weeks ago. So I want to give you an update on what I've been doing to solicit contractors. I'll give you not contractors, management company. So part of the frustration of the association and the board in general has been the lack of response and the lack of doing things. And with the construction that's going on, okay, that has added an added burden to the management company to the point he says, I'm gonna give my 60-day notice, you guys are asking too much time for me with this project.
Well, he was
Fine.
everybody anyways.
Fine, welcomed, nice gentleman, but not the management company for us. And yes, after all these years, correct.
Should have been gone long.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct. Correct. You're very correct.
That's why our community is
But
there.
we're only, everybody is one
But you
voice.
were a part of that too.
Every person has one voice on the board. I don't make the ultimate decision.
Yes,
The
you do.
board, the board's
We're
decision.
ready.
No.
Get the help you need. All right,
You
now,
got the money.
okay,
Look at, this is why I'm pissed, is because look at my property there.
good. All
Yeah,
right,
good. Right, you were in control of
Let's
that.
continue. Let's continue.
Yes.
So, I have called, I want to give the association, my, update. We do have a meeting tomorrow with a company that's here in Plantation. It's a boutique company. They run the park, the one with the fountain, the beautiful one, the fountain here on University. It's one of their properties. They're called Your Management Services. I encourage you to go on their website, look at the reviews.
And how do we get
One
their
of them,
information?
sorry?
How do we get their information?
I did research. You're not the only one that does research.
I know.
Thank you.
Of course.
So I did research. One of the toughest things you're gonna find, and I know because this is my world, okay? I'm in the world of condominiums. You will very rarely find a management company.
Sean, please, you're
I'm not an only hotel, sir. I work for a development
Wait,
company.
do these people need to stay?
Just want to be excused.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, thank you guys.
You're gonna
Appreciate
email me a
your-
date and time for your meeting, please? Okay, so we can post it. Okay.
What's the name of the company again?
Your, YOUR Management Services. The owners of the company are Diana Morgan and Lamont. I assume it's Morgan. We will be meeting with them tomorrow. Now, one of the things I'm gonna tell you, again, I'm in the condo world. I don't only only work for a hotel, I work for a huge developer and a management company, okay?
Trump International?
Yes, from international, yeah. Keep your political comments to
I didn't make
yourself, there's no
political
place.
Sean,
I also work
stop.
for a huge developer, a luxury developer, and also a luxury management company. I will tell you from experience, it is very hard to find a management company that has all good reviews. Difficult. Let me show you my efforts so you know who we're having. If anybody even calls you that, forget about First Service, forget about KW. They're too big. They don't even want to talk to us. They see us as.
How about Campbell Property Management, have you tried them?
We've had them before.
We've had them before. Let me tell you who I've reached out to. I reached out, one of the communities in the area that I think is nicely kept. Have you ever seen the French Quarters here on Sunday?
Yes. Time management that's running that right now.
Prime, because they had FYVE and they fired them.
Right.
So that's what I'm finding out. So I called FYVE, they said, no, we don't manage that. I said, who manages it? The young lady said, Prime, whatever.
But they're, not to interrupt you, but they're going with a new management company.
Yeah, they're not happy, I know that. One of my former employees lives there, and I reached out to them. They're having challenges with their management company.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the people I've left won't call me back. We're too small of a community. One of them said, unless we get the full service, that means maintenance, management, and accounting, they won't even consider us. You never want to have a management company doing your financials. It's always segregation of duties.
I don't believe that.
Okay, segregations of duties.
No.
So, I've left the message, so let me go back. Tomorrow's meeting is with our first contract. Just so you know, as a community, Florida statute does not require you, when it comes to attorneys, engineers, management companies, to put it through the bidding process. Okay? You're not required by statute, Florida 18, and I'll give you the chapter and so forth. Okay, so those are very few vendors. An association is not obligated to bidding out, okay? And there's reasons for that, because of the level of expertise of an attorney, of an accounting firm, and so forth. The association can choose to entertain multiple conversations. That's fine. The problem is when you read some of these reviews, they're horrendous. You read a lot of the reviews with the challenges that we're having now. Lack of response, lack of follow-up, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
I want to see that in writing.
Huh?
I want to see it in writing.
See what in writing?
These issues you're seeing, I want to see it too.
What do you mean?
The reviews, you said you can go.
Well, I sent an email to the board. I'm going to give you a few names. I also reached out to our accounting firm. I reached out to our brokers because they deal with management companies.
And Holland,
Carol Askew never refers. She'll just say, hey, these are a few names that local associations.
Oh, can she speak without it being interrupted?
This is too much. You gotta stop.
Well, I know what side you're on with this, I understand.
It's not about size.
Fucking size.
I'm just saying.
I'm a homeowner.
Yeah.
I just need to move forward. This is petty.
It's not petty. My house is
You're
being-
interrupting.
Look at my house. Look at my house.
Put it down.
It's not about.
My house. When I'm dealing with cuts in my house, when you deal with cuts in your
All
room.
right, Mr. Martin, I'm giving you a freebie. I gave you 2 warnings already. That's it. Allow me to address the
Finish. I'll
unit
step
owners.
back, let you finish.
Stop
I
interrupting
made
so
my
I
point.
can give an update,
Go for it.
please. Thank you. Where was I? I'm sorry. Okay, so let me show you, okay, so your management services, if you're available tomorrow, come to the meeting so you can hear the interview, you can hear the presentation. I encourage you to go on their website, look at the reviews. They're exceptional, which is very rare, I can tell you, in the world of condo management. One of the things that's very appealing to them, they're plantation homeowners and plantation business owners. I had the pleasure of meeting Diana Morgan ahead of time. I wanted to pre-screen her before putting them in front of the community. A very decent lady. I also did my homework on her, on people that may know her, what type they run. She runs a top ship. What I really impressed me about your management services, aside from the community reviews that they have, is her interaction and her connections and her social interactions that her business has with the city of Plantation, her and her husband. And Mart, if you go to the council meeting, when you see her, you may even recognize her.
Probably know my face.
So, well-connected in Plantation, okay, so that's a good plus. The other plus is being a local company, if they're quick to be here. The other company I dealt with, which I'm having a conversation, is...
Excuse me, Patty.
Miss, your conversation is disturbing. You talk when Patty's talking, and that's why the rest of us don't get a message. I'd appreciate if you would keep your conversation till at the end. Thank you, good night.
Okay. There's a company called CAM Professional Services that was formerly
This is a
Phoenix.
volunteer service.
Formerly Phoenix.
Okay.
This is one of the owners are Donna Goldstein and Maritza something. They're a boutique, again, a boutique CAM, which is a community association business. They're licensed CAMs that have, they do a few communities. They are located, they don't have an up, which is what I don't like, they don't have an up functioning website yet, so I'm not able to see reviews, okay. The other person I'm going to be leaving a message with is Property Keepers Management. They're in Fort Lauderdale. There are a few other referrals that have the worst reviews I've seen. Jackson Lostra Property Management, they're a 2-star property, I'm not even going there. GPS Property and Management, they have no reviews on their website, so I'm a little leery. JML Management LLC out of Weston, they have no reviews.
Can you post the list so the community can see it? I mean, that would be the easiest thing.
I'll email to the board. Again,
I mean,
when I
we're spending
reached
a lot
out
of
to the
time.
board and asked who wants to join me in calling Lang, no one responded except mine.
It's a community
So-
decision at the end of the day.
Yeah, okay, so get more
It is.
involved. All right.
I am, that's why I'm here.
No, that's not why you're here.
Oh, yes, it is.
No, you're here on your personal agenda. You're here on your personal agenda.
If I'm not here,
Okay.
I'm gonna sit right there by
So
you.
ladies and gentlemen, moral of the story, your
Oh, I
property
will.
management services and plantation will be presenting to the board tomorrow at 7 p.m. Please come, listen, ask questions.
Yes. I'm an owner here just like everyone else in this room.
And how much they are charging?
They're gonna bring their proposal tomorrow. I'll let you know what happened. When I met with Diana Morgan, I took advantage of the time she was on the property. I invited her to drive around. I explained all the details, how we're structured, how we're structured, how many phases, what our challenges are, what we're going through right now. And then she's had the opportunity to walk the property.
Nobody wants to see that.
She had the opportunity to walk the property, and she wanted to walk the property to see for herself. And then she wants to meet the board, which is tomorrow night.
Right, and also, you know what, the main thing here should be to use the money wisely. And I don't understand why we cannot combine the accounting with management together. Why not? They will make it.
You don't want to do that now. You want to have a segregation of duties. You don't want your management company managing your money.
They save a lot of money and they did very well, so I don't understand.
And there's also been a lot of communities who did that, who have lost
No,
their
no, no.
idea.
Look at this thing.
So,
I just been craft since I moved here in 2007. It hasn't gotten any better.
It's never a good idea to mix the two. Your
In your opinion.
manager managing your money. Not a good idea.
In your opinion.
No, in my professional opinion,
I don't want to hear your professional. But
I'm a licensed CAM.
I don't care. That means nothing. You took some classes online.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, good. Good point. When you guys' house looks like this, and you're living in what?
This meeting is adjourned.
when I look at my business, it's a part of management. I can have meeting days when I get in my chair, I